cracking down on human trafficking. It's become the mission of one local group.
And 23 ABC's Camilla Bastidas is live in central Bakersfield tonight with that group trying to do something about it. Camilla?
That's right. California is one of the top states for human trafficking. And one local man who has spent the past several years trying to get prostitutes away from that lifestyle tells us that human trafficking also happens here in Kern County. People for the Abolishment of Trafficking Humans has been working closely with prostitutes, trying to lure them to a better life. Doug Bennett, who co-founded PATH, says human trafficking also happens in Bakersfield.
So from San Diego to Seattle, Washington, they move teams of women into each city, in each major metropolis, and that way they keep fresh women in town so the men keep buying. So it's forced prostitution.
Just last week, volunteers with PATH went to a motel and found women who were brought to Bakersfield just for sex.
And we talked to 10 different women there, and they asked for prayer for their safety. And they said at the end of the day, we just want to go home. And I said, where's home? And they said San Francisco.
The average age of victims when they are first trafficked is just 12 to 14 years old. Bennett says he has met some high schoolers who are forced to sell their bodies.
And as we were giving her a ride home and talking to her, she said that she was just prostituting to pay her way through school. And I said, oh, what school do you go to? And she said, I go to East Bakersfield High School.
And we're live here in central Bakersfield at the Liberty Bell with a group called California Against Sexual Exploitation. This group is helping put a stop to human trafficking, and right now they're currently working on a measure that will help create stricter penalties for people who traffic humans. Now here is Daphne Fung. Daphne, tell us, what are the current laws in California and what do you guys want to change?
Well, in California today, the law, the penalty for human trafficking is 3 to 8 years in prison. In addition to that, there are tremendous barriers in prosecuting cases where a child is being trafficked for sex, but she or he is consenting to that, to that. And we all know that a child cannot consent to sex. So if you sell a child for sex, that should be in itself enough evidence to prosecute it, but that's not the case currently in our law.
Okay, Daphne, now we also know that the state is facing a huge budget deficit. We've seen many cutbacks, and right now we're even seeing the whole prison realignment. Can the state afford to house more inmates, and if this initiative passes, how much will it cost the state?
Sure. So we do recognize that we do have a prison overcrowding issue in California, but we also have to make sure that we understand that we're talking about the sexual exploitation of children and women. This is not a petty crime. It's a serious crime, and prisons were made for serious crimes like these. And we cannot tell these victims that just because our prisons are overcrowded, that they have to continue to be victimized, tortured, raped. And in addition to that, the Legislative Analyst Office in Sacramento said that this initiative will basically the cost of this initiative is marginal compared to the huge state that we're in.
Okay, thank you, Daphne. Now, right now, the Secretary of State is verifying hundreds of thousands of signatures that they collected. Now, once that does pass, the measure will go on the ballot. We are live in central Bakersfield. I'm Camilla Bastidas for 23 ABC.